with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge. Oh, sorry, I need to start again. Just to get that.
Please welcome Dan!
Right, here we go. So Brené Brown said if we could share our story with someone who's going to give us empathy and understanding, then shame can't survive. In May 2018, I launched a brand on Instagram called Male Anxiety Depression, and I shared my mental health story for the very first time. Thank you. Prior to this, I'd only ever sort of spoken about being in recovery for alcohol and drugs. But it was the love and support of the Juice Plus leadership team that allowed me to find my voice and become the men's mental health advocate that I'm today. I remember shortly after joining Juice Plus, I was lucky enough to be taken to lunch by Simon Bowler. And as we inside were having lunch, I was just sharing with him details of my life. And Si said to me that Juice Plus would support me and that I should have no shame in sharing my story. In fact, it was our current Commander-in-Chief, Matthias, who actually asked me to be a keynote speaker today. And I think that we're so lucky to be a part of an organisation who back their franchise partners in the way that Juice Plus do. You know, standing backstage back there, pretty obvious that I'm nervous, right? But I was excited as well, so I was experiencing a range of emotions from excitement to complete fear. You know, this is the first time I've got up on a stage this big and got myself this vulnerable, sharing my message. But I also want to make sure that I do a really good job today and try to make like a big impact on you. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dan Furlong, and I've been with Juice Plus for about 4 years now, and I'm a proud ambassador of the Juice Plus Inspiring Healthy Giving Programme. And I'd like to start off today with some gratitude. So, being in recovery for alcohol and drugs, I'm really fortunate to have a program in my life called the 12 Steps. And it's a spiritual program, and I practice these steps on a daily basis, and for the most part, I'm just going to underline the most part, they keep me out of trouble. Yeah. And you know, one of the things that we do is that we practice gratitude. So what happens is that I send my sponsor 5 things that I'm grateful for every single day, and then the lads that I help out, they send me their 5 things. And if it's cool with you guys, I'm just going to share with you my gratitude list from this morning because it's got a little bit of a Juice Plus theme. So the first thing that I was grateful for is Paul Jarvis, our COO. Paul was the first person I spoke to about going to the jungle to do the run for my charity. I thought, don't beat around the bush, go straight to the top. I did try and call Jay, but he didn't pick up. But thankfully for me, Paul did, and do you know what? He said yes straight away. He replied back and he activated his team, and his team were on to me the next day to make it happen. Okay, so my second one is actually the leadership team. So I've mentioned Simon, I've mentioned Matthias, but I also need to give a big shout out to Chris, to Sasha, to Melissa, to Nikki, to Kieran. I've probably forgotten them, but they've been so fantastic in supporting me with what I've been doing. The third thing is the Juice Plus Foundation. All right, so we have this foundation in Juice Plus which will support their franchise partners with their charitable efforts. And the foundation paid for me to go into the run in Peru, and they also match the donations that come from you guys. And that kind of brings me on to the fourth thing that I'm grateful for is all of you. You know, not just the donations, the love and support that you gave me with your messages, invite me onto your Zoom calls, and you know, and the little text that when I was in the jungle that just kept me going. And then the last thing that I'm grateful for is it's Remembrance Sunday today. Do we have anybody in the audience who served the British Army or the British military at some stage? Can you stand up for me? Can you give these guys a massive clap? And thank you so much for your service and everything that you've done. Thank you. Okay, so one of my favourite accounts to follow on Instagram is Dr. Joe Dispenza. And Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that human beings have about 90,000 faults every single day. And he also says that 90% of those faults are exactly the same as the day before. And for the most human beings, those faults are extremely negative. And I know that for me, when I woke up this morning, the committee that was inside my box of frogs was in full session. It said to me that you don't deserve to share this stage with all of the presidential marketing directors that have been up there. Brexit wasn't even a thing the last time you got promoted. You're not motivational and you had nothing to say. But I remember Dr. Joe also explains that the quickest way, the easiest way to break that cycle of negative thinking is to practice gratitude. But what I also want you to do is realise that this journey that we're all on is a marathon and not a sprint. And don't do what I did for so long and don't compare yourself to others. Remember, not every single professional football player that plays professional football plays it like Lionel Messi. Just the same as not every single Juice Plus franchise partner can be John Holowati. I think what's important, especially in this modern world where there's such a lack of authenticity, is to try and find a way to be unique while staying true to yourself. And I think that my USP as a Juice Plus franchise partner is that I'm the only person who has run through the Amazon jungle. That's pretty unique, right? Cool. I've actually got a video to show you guys how I got on. Not only are we changing the conversation about OCD, we're changing the conversation about mental health as well. Oh, thank you. The event was a massive success. We raised a lot of money for OCD Action. They've asked me to personally thank every single one of you today. We've changed the conversation around obsessive compulsive disorder, and this is the most important part. I said to them, a lot of the money that we raise, I want to go to fund the hotline that they've got. And that hotline is going to save lives as well. So really, really, really well done. And you may or may not have seen from the video that I managed to finish 10th out of 60 elite runners, whilst filming the whole thing on my Instagram stories. Yeah, and I get messages from runners on Instagram asking me what my keys to success are, and they get really, really surprised when they get a picture of this sent to them. I need to tell you a story about the race and a story about the Juice Plus suit. So, the event management company that run the race are a super professional outfit called Beyond the Ultimate, and they really, really care about the runners' safety. So they hire a company which is called Exile Medics, and XR medics flew out 12 NHS doctors to come and take care of the runners in the jungle. And these doctors were scattered around the route at the various checkpoints, and they would have the final say on whether runners were fit and healthy enough to continue. So as all of the other runners are coming into the checkpoint, they're sorting out their energy drinks, they're taking their energy gels and all that other crap, I'm literally running in, ripping this off, chucking it in my water, necking it, and then I'm on my way. I had one before the race and two during each stage. I had two during the run, and you know, a massive 600 calories. And I'm sure that these NHS doctors thought I was absolutely bonkers. But as the race went on, they started to quiz me about my strategy. And I said to them that these products allow me to be fat dependent, and it means that I'm not reliant on carbs. And they said to me, well, you're the only runner that comes through with a smile on his face every single time, so they must work. And I thought today I could do a presentation for 15 minutes on the products and how they make me be the runner that I am. But Dave O'Brien already does this, and Dave does it a lot better than I ever could. For those of you who don't know Dave, he's a crazy Irishman that you'll probably find running around Edinburgh this weekend with no shoes on. But he's also a really good Juice Plus Ultra runner, and he's got fantastic products talk on YouTube, which you can find. What I thought would be more beneficial would be to share with you guys my 3 absolutes. And I call them my 3 absolutes, which are struggle, courage and compassion, because they get me through absolutely anything. And hopefully they'll be able to get you guys through as well. So my first one, struggle. So I've struggled my whole life. So I've grown up with obsessive compulsive disorder in the form of intrusive thoughts. Living with OCD is kind of like having a monster live rent-free in your head, feeding you dark lies and dark thoughts 24/7. It had me debilitated and paralysed for 20 years. You know, my story sounds harsh, and you know, that picture is pretty harsh, but I'm not unique. As I look around this audience, I see 2 things. I see 1, a beautiful diversity of people, but the second thing I see is a not so beautiful diversity of struggle. I know so many of you have either been through or are going through some serious stuff, from physical health to mental health to abuse to trauma to heartache to divorce, single mum, single dads. I could go on. Ernest Hemingway once said, the world breaks everybody, and then afterwards some are stronger in the broken places. So to me, what's really important is not the actual struggle itself, but it's what we do with that struggle. Just before the race, I took myself over to the start line and I said, you know what, Dan? If you've been through OCD, you've been through depression, you've been through addiction, there's nothing that this jungle can throw at you that you can't handle. So let the struggle push you on. My second absolute is courage. And again, another quick story about the run. I knew ahead of time that on days 4 and days 5, at checkpoint 3, which is the final checkpoint, runners would be presented with a choice. You can either turn left and you can take the short course, or you can turn right and you can take the long course. Now, not taking away anything from the runners who turn left, because you know what, that is still ninja. But I made my mind up before arriving in Peru that there was no way that I wasn't going to turn right. Churchill once said that victory will never be found by taking the path of least resistance. I had no idea what was going to be ahead of me. All I knew was that it was going to be hideous, and hideous it was. But what I also knew is that the pain that I was going to go through would be nothing compared to the pain of regret if I didn't try. So I want you to remember that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's having the fear and doing it anyway. Alright, so my final absolute is compassion. You know, it's only when I'm running on these dangerous trails do I feel truly free. And I was running in the jungle thinking to myself, you know, how challenging this world has become. so much hate, so much violence, so much division, so much unhappiness. But then I thought to myself, you know what, Dan? That isn't the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge isn't the current state of affairs. It's how I choose to respond to those current state of affairs. Jay Shetty said, we can't fix ourselves by breaking someone else. But I am here today to tell you that we can heal ourselves by showing other people some compassion. Shortly after I got back from Peru, a parent reached out to me. She said, Dan, as a result of your efforts in the jungle, my teenage daughter has set up an Instagram account to start sharing her OCD story. Woo! That guys, that healed me a lot more than my therapist ever could. Sorry, therapist. Because it really did give my pain some kind of purpose. So like, my challenge to you is think about whose life you can change if you start to open up and show them some compassion. All right, so to close this, I want to have some fun here. Everybody get out your phones for me and turn on the flashlight. I'm going to do the same. All right, so turn on the flashlight, the torch. Okay, and hold it above your head for me. Okay, and I'm going to ask the venue to just dim the lights. Can we get the lights down, guys? Wow, look at that. Just look around at the lights. How cool is that? Now, to me, every single one of these lights represents a person or a charity that is struggling right now. For me, the only people that are going to change the world for the better are courageous people like you and I who are out there caring about others. Together, we can build a community of compassion. The Juice Plus Inspiring Healthy Giving programme gives us a platform where we can change the world in ways which money can't. All it takes is a desire to make a difference. We can make it happen. And to finish with the words of Princess Diana, carry out a random act of kindness with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge that someday someone might do the same for you. Anyway, you've been amazing.